beloved friends, today we gather in the spirit of thanksgiving, not as beggars pleading for mercy, but as children of God who already live in His abundance. Prayer of thanks is not an empty formality. It is the highest acknowledgement that what we have asked for has already been granted. When we close our eyes in gratitude, we are not thanking God for something yet to arrive. No, we are affirming that it is already ours, here and now. The unseen blessing is just as real as the visible one, and by our thanksgiving, we clothe it in form until it appears before us. To thank God is to live in the end, to rejoice in fulfillment before the outer world has confirmed it. This is the secret of answered prayer. Gratitude seals the covenant. It is the invisible handshake with the divine saying, I believe it is done. We must learn to rest in this attitude of the heart, where every word of thanks is a seed planted in the fertile soil of faith. As we persist, these seeds grow into a harvest of abundance, joy, health, and peace. So let our prayer today be not of longing, but of thanksgiving. Let us speak as though we have already received, for in truth we have. Every blessing you can imagine is already alive within you, awaiting only your recognition. And as we thank God, not tomorrow, not someday, but now, we draw into our world the very things for which we are grateful. Thanksgiving is not the end of prayer, it is its fulfillment. It is the power that multiplies blessings, turning little into much and dreams into reality. So let us close with this prayer. Father, I thank you that all is accomplished. I thank you that health, abundance, love, and peace are already mine. I thank you that every desire of my heart is fulfilled. I rest now in gratitude, knowing it is so. Gratitude as creative power is far more than polite words, whispered thanks, or a ritual spoken at the dinner table. It is not about rehearsed phrases, nor is it limited to acknowledging what we can see with our eyes. True thanksgiving springs from the inner awareness that what we desire, what we have longed for, is already ours in the unseen. Gratitude becomes powerful the moment we understand that it is not an afterthought once something has happened, but a living force that precedes the visible manifestation. To give thanks is to declare with conviction, it is already done. When we approach gratitude from this higher place, we no longer treat it as a reaction to circumstances, but as the cause of them. It is the invisible key that unlocks the doors of abundance, love, health, peace, and fulfillment. Gratitude is the language of faith. It is the evidence of things not seen. The moment you say thank you, not as a request, but as a recognition, you are aligning yourself with the reality you wish to experience. You are acknowledging that God has already provided, that the blessing is not on its way, but has already taken root in the eternal now. This understanding transforms prayer itself. Instead of approaching God with a sense of lack, pleading for what seems absent, we enter into communion with Him by affirming that He has already answered. Gratitude shifts the state of consciousness from waiting to receiving. It moves us out of longing and into fulfillment. It creates the feeling that the promise has already been kept, and it is this inner acceptance that clothes the unseen with form. Consider how different your heart feels when you plead for something compared to when you give thanks for it as though it is already here. Pleading carries the energy of distance. a reminder that what you want seems far away. Gratitude carries the energy of completion, the joy of holding the gift already, and it is the state of completion that magnetizes life to bring forth the very evidence you seek. Gratitude is not passive, it is the highest form of creation. To say thank you before the outer world changes is to step into the role of co-creator with God. It is to call those things which are not as though they were. It is a recognition of abundance even in the face of lack, of health in the face of sickness, of peace in the face of turmoil. And in that recognition, the old dissolves and the new begins to appear. When you live in thanksgiving, you cease to measure life by appearances. You rest in the truth that unseen forces are already at work on your behalf. The more you give thanks, the more life multiplies the reasons for you to do so. Gratitude becomes a cycle of creative expansion, a fountain that never runs dry. It is not a ritual, but the very breath of faith, the assurance that you already possess in spirit all that your heart could ever desire. The invisible becomes visible when we learn to trust that every blessing begins in the unseen before it is clothed in form. Too often we look only at the outer world, measuring life by what the eyes can see and the hands can touch, forgetting that every visible thing once existed as an invisible idea. The house was first a vision in the mind of the builder. The harvest was first a seed buried in the soil. The invention was first a thought in the imagination of its creator. So it is with the blessings of our lives. They are first conceived in the realm of faith before appearing in the physical world. Faith is the womb of creation. It is the space where the invisible takes shape long before the senses confirm it. To believe in blessings before they are visible is not to deceive ourselves, but to align with the eternal law that everything manifests twice, first inwardly, then outwardly. When we hold in faith the picture of what we desire, we are cradling the seed of a blessing already given by God. Our task is not to beg for it, but to nurture it with trust, gratitude, and expectancy until it becomes visible to all. The unseen is not less real simply because it is hidden. Consider the wind. It cannot be seen with the eye, yet its effects are undeniable. In the same way, the blessing that you carry in faith is invisible, but its reality is certain. The moment you accept it within, its journey into form has begun. The invisible is the cause, the visible is the effect. To focus only on appearances is to live in the shadow, but to recognize the unseen as real is to live in the truth of creation. When we pray with thanksgiving, we are not waiting for something distant to arrive. We are acknowledging that in the invisible realm, the blessing already exists. Gratitude waters the seed. Patience allows it to grow. Faith anchors us in the certainty that what is unseen will become seen. The outer world has no choice but to reflect the inner conviction we carry. To walk in faith is to live as though the blessing were already in your hands. It is to give thanks for the answered prayer while the world around you still appears unchanged. But appearances are only temporary, shifting with the winds of belief. The invisible, once accepted in faith, will press itself into the visible with perfect certainty. Just as dawn follows night, the blessing held within will reveal itself in time. So let us no longer measure reality only by what is visible. The greatest truths are often hidden, awaiting recognition. Every answered prayer, every miracle, Every breakthrough is first born in silence and invisibility. When you dare to see with the eyes of faith, you discover that the invisible is the most powerful realm of all, for it contains within it every blessing you will ever need, waiting patiently to be made visible in your life. Living in the end is one of the most transformative states of consciousness we can enter. It is the practice of giving thanks, as though the prayer has already been answered, of feeling the joy of fulfillment before the evidence appears. Most people approach prayer with longing, with eyes fixed on what is missing, but living in the end shifts the entire perspective. Instead of asking, "When will it come?" you rest in the certainty that it is already here. Gratitude becomes the proof of your faith, the signal to God and to yourself that you accept the blessing as complete. When you live in the end, you abandon the posture of waiting. You no longer postpone joy, peace, or confidence until conditions change. Instead, you step into the state of having. You thank God not for what is on its way, but for what is already accomplished in the unseen. This act of thanksgiving is not make-believe. It is the recognition that creation is finished, that every blessing you could ever desire already exists in the eternal realm. By giving thanks now, you pull that reality into the present moment, clothing it with form and substance. Think of how a child receives a gift with unrestrained joy, never doubting that it belongs to them the moment it is placed in their hands. Living in the end is to carry that same childlike certainty, not waiting for outer confirmation, but delighting in the possession of it within. The heart says, "It is mine," and the world eventually aligns to make it visible. Gratitude in advance is not an illusion. It is the creative force that compels reality to reshape itself according to your inner conviction. This way of being is powerful because it dissolves resistance. When you live in longing, you create a vibration of lack, and lack continues to appear. But when you live in the end, thanksgiving flows naturally and your state declares abundance. The law of life responds not to what you hope for, but to what you embody. Living in the end is embodiment. It is stepping into the reality of the answered prayer and refusing to entertain its absence. It may feel unusual at first. The outer world may contradict your inner vision. But if you persist, giving thanks daily as though the blessing is already accomplished, something remarkable happens. Circumstances rearrange themselves, doors open, people appear, and opportunities unfold in ways you could never have predicted. The outer world is compelled to reflect the inner world of thanksgiving and fulfillment. So let your prayer today be one of completed gratitude. Say, "Thank you, Father, for it is done." Rest in that assurance. Feel the joy of possession now, not later. Walk, speak, and act from the state of having already received, for the truth is you have. Living in the end is the secret that turns unseen prayers into visible blessings. Thanksgiving is the bridge between desire and manifestation, and the moment you give thanks as though it is already yours, it becomes so. Faith in the present moment is a recognition that we are not waiting for blessings to arrive in some distant future, but receiving them now through inner conviction. Too often we are tempted to believe that life will only become good once certain conditions are met, once the money comes, once the relationship appears, once the healing takes place. This mindset pushes fulfillment into tomorrow and robs us of the power of today. True faith does not dwell in the hope of someday. It lives in the certainty of now. It is an inner knowing that the blessing is already accomplished and is unfolding perfectly in this very moment. To live in faith is to stop postponing your joy, your gratitude, and your peace. It is to step into the reality that what you have prayed for exists already in the invisible realm, and that by conviction you draw it into your experience. Faith in the present moment is not about ignoring reality, but about seeing a deeper reality, the eternal truth that God's blessings are already complete. It is the decision to dwell in this awareness, even when appearances seem to contradict it. When we live in tomorrow, we unconsciously affirm lack. I don't have it yet, but I will. This statement pushes the blessing further away, but when we live in the present moment, our inner speech declares, it is mine now. The conviction of having draws circumstances into alignment because the outer world is compelled to reflect the state of the inner world. Faith in the now is a magnet. It pulls unseen blessings into visible form. This way of living requires us to silence the voice of doubt and the habit of delay. Doubt says, maybe it will happen later. Faith says, it is already done. Delay says, I'll feel grateful when I see the result. Faith says, I feel grateful now because the result exists in truth. The shift is subtle but profound. By resting in the present moment with thanksgiving, we dissolve the tension of waiting. We live as receivers, not seekers. We walk in fulfillment, not in longing. Faith in the now is also freedom. It frees us from anxiety about the future and regret about the past. In the present, all is well. In the present, we are complete. In the present, the blessing is already flowing. When you breathe deeply and center yourself in gratitude, you feel it, you sense the abundance, the peace, the love that has always been with you. And as you remain in that state, the outer world catches up with the inner conviction. So let this be the practice. Receive now. Say within yourself, I have it. I thank you, Father, that it is done. Release the habit of waiting. Live in the present as though the prayer is already fulfilled, because in truth it is. Faith in the present moment is the bridge between the invisible and the visible, the unseen and the seen. It is not about tomorrow, it is about now. And now is the only place where God's blessings can ever be received. The silent agreement with God is not made through many words, elaborate rituals, or outward displays. It is made through gratitude. Gratitude is the purest language of alignment with divine abundance. When we give thanks sincerely, we are entering into a quiet covenant with the source of all life, acknowledging that everything we need has already been provided. This gratitude does not need to be shouted, nor does it demand recognition from others. It is the inner whisper of the soul, a gentle but powerful acknowledgement. I am one with the abundance of God. This agreement is silent because it does not rely on noise or striving. It is felt in the heart before it is spoken by the lips. The moment you feel gratitude, you are testifying that God has already answered, that the blessing is already yours. Gratitude is the seal on the invisible promise, the signature on the covenant between Creator and creation. By saying thank you, not for what might come, but for what already is, you are declaring your alignment with divine abundance. Every time you pause to give thanks, you are stepping into harmony with the flow of life. You are shifting from resistance to acceptance, from fear to faith, from lack to fulfillment. Gratitude does not complain, it does not measure what is missing, it does not argue with appearances. Instead, it sees through appearances and celebrates the truth that abundance is the natural state of the universe and that you are an heir to it. This is the silent agreement, to walk in faith by living as though you already possess the fullness of God's blessings. In this way, gratitude becomes more than a polite habit. It is a spiritual practice, a creative act. To live in constant thanksgiving is to remain attuned to the divine frequency of abundance. When you feel grateful, your heart and mind are lifted, your vision expands, and opportunities begin to appear effortlessly. Gratitude draws to itself more reasons to be grateful, because life echoes back the vibration you offer. By maintaining gratitude, you remain aligned with the source, and that alignment ensures that blessings continually flow into your life. The silent agreement with God requires no bargaining, no conditions, no promises of sacrifice. It is not about convincing God to bless you. It is about recognizing that you are already blessed. Gratitude acknowledges what is unseen as real, and in doing so gives it permission to become visible. It is the bridge between desire and fulfillment, between prayer and its manifestation. So let gratitude be your constant inner language. Whisper thanks in the morning when you rise and in the evening when you rest. Give thanks not only for what has already appeared, but for what exists now in the unseen, waiting to emerge. Each act of gratitude renews your silent covenant with God, affirming your trust in divine abundance. In this agreement, there is no striving, only receiving. No fear, only faith. No lack, only fullness. Gratitude is your confirmation that you and God are one, and that abundance is forever your inheritance. Thanksgiving is not only a response to blessings already seen, it is also the very force that multiplies them. Whatever we appreciate expands. Whatever we sincerely give thanks for grows richer, deeper, and more abundant in our lives. Gratitude is not passive. It is active, creative, magnetic. It takes what is small and increases it. It takes what is hidden and brings it forward. It takes what is desired and makes it manifest. Thanksgiving is the law of multiplication at work. When you give thanks for even the smallest blessing, you set in motion a cycle of increase. Consider how a simple act of gratitude can change the tone of a day. A heart filled with thanksgiving draws more reasons to be thankful. Opportunities arise, relationships deepen, health strengthens, and peace expands. Life mirrors back the state of your inner world, and gratitude declares that abundance is already present. In doing so, it calls forth more abundance. This principle can be seen in the smallest details of life. When you give thanks for a meal, you enjoy it more fully. When you give thanks for a relationship, love flows more freely. When you give thanks for health, your body responds with greater vitality. And when you give thanks for wealth, even before it appears, doors open for increase. Thanksgiving does not wait for outer confirmation, it creates it. By appreciating what is, and even more so, what is yet to come, you are multiplying your blessings in advance. The opposite is also true. When we complain or dwell on lack, we diminish what we already have and push away what we desire. Complaining contracts, gratitude expands, lack closes doors, thanksgiving opens them wide. The choice is always ours, to focus on what is missing or to magnify what is present. By choosing gratitude, we place ourselves in harmony with the divine law of increase, and life cannot help but return to us multiplied good. Thanksgiving as multiplication is not about forcing results, but about resting in the joy of having already received. When you say, "Thank you, Father, for this blessing," you are not only affirming what is, you are sowing seeds for what will be. Gratitude plants, waters, and nurtures the unseen until it blossoms into visible form. It is a quiet yet powerful creative act. one that ensures blessings do not stagnate but continue to flow and multiply. So let your heart be trained in thanksgiving. Give thanks for the breath in your body, for the opportunities unfolding, for the desires of your heart that are even now taking shape in the unseen. Give thanks for answered prayers, whether the evidence has appeared or not. Each word of gratitude is a seed of multiplication, a signal to life that you are ready for more. Thanksgiving does not just acknowledge blessings, it increases them. The more you thank God, the more reasons you will find to thank Him. Gratitude is the soil where miracles grow, the law of abundance in motion. Whatever you appreciate expands, and in that expansion you discover that thanksgiving is not the end of blessings, but the very force that multiplies them. We have seen that gratitude is not a ritual, nor a mere reaction to life's circumstances. It is the very power that shapes reality. Every blessing begins unseen, takes root in faith, and becomes visible when we live as though it is already ours. By giving thanks, we align ourselves with divine abundance, we make a silent covenant with God, and we multiply every gift entrusted to us. Let us therefore walk forward, not in longing, but in fulfillment, not in waiting, but in receiving. May our hearts remain in constant thanksgiving. Gratitude is both the seed and the harvest, the prayer and the answer. As we live in this spirit, our lives will overflow with peace, joy, and abundance beyond measure. Let us say thanks. Thank you all for joining in this reflection. May the spirit of gratitude remain with you today and always. God bless you.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me remind you of a truth so profound that it can transform your entire existence. The victory you seek is not out there, it is within you. The moment you declare, "I'm going to win," you are not just making a statement, you are setting a law into motion. The foundation of all achievement lies in what you assume to be true about yourself and the world. Assumptions, though often overlooked, are the silent architects of our reality. They shape our thoughts, mold our emotions, and direct our actions. What you deeply and consistently believe about yourself becomes the framework within which your life unfolds. If you assume success, prosperity, and happiness to be yours, life will inevitably align itself to reflect those assumptions. This is not mere wishful thinking, but a profound truth rooted in the nature of consciousness. When you assume something, you do more than hope or wish for it, you accept it as fact, regardless of whether the physical evidence supports it at the moment. This is the essence of creative power. Life mirrors your inner state. What you consistently feel to be true becomes your experience, for the world outside is but a projection of the world within. Your assumptions are the seeds you plant in the fertile soil of consciousness, and like any seed, they grow and bear fruit in due season. The beauty of assumption lies in its simplicity. You do not need to struggle or strain to make it work. There is no effort required to force external circumstances to align with your desires. Instead, the work is entirely internal. You need only to persist in the feeling that your desire is already fulfilled. This feeling, held with conviction, has the power to transform your reality in ways that defy logic and reason. Consider this: when you assume a position of confidence and success, you naturally carry yourself differently. Your posture changes, your voice steadies, and your actions take on a purposeful quality. These outward expressions are not deliberate, they flow effortlessly from the assumption you hold within. Similarly, when you assume lack or failure, your energy reflects hesitation, doubt, and fear, and your reality mirrors those feelings back to you. The power of assumption is neutral, it works in either direction. Therefore, it is vital to assume consciously, to choose deliberately what you will believe about yourself and your world. Many people make the mistake of waiting for external validation before adopting a positive assumption. They wait to see evidence of success before believing they are successful, or they wait for love to arrive before feeling loved. But this approach reverses the natural order. The truth is that the inner change must come first. The outer world is but a shadow, responding to the light of your inner state. By assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled, you bring the invisible into visibility. It is not the evidence that creates belief, it is belief that creates the evidence. This process does not require struggle, only persistence. Assumptions gain power through repetition and feeling. The more you dwell on an idea with conviction, the more it becomes a part of your subconscious mind. Once embedded in the subconscious, it begins to work tirelessly to bring itself into manifestation. This is why it is essential to guard your assumptions carefully. Do not allow doubts or negative beliefs to take root. Instead, nurture only those ideas that align with your highest aspirations. The power of assumption also liberates you from the tyranny of circumstances. No matter how dire a situation may appear, you are never bound by it. Circumstances are transient, they are effects, not causes. The cause always lies within you, in the assumptions you hold. By changing your assumption, you change the cause, and the effect must follow. This truth is not reserved for the few or the fortunate, it is universal. It applies to everyone, in every situation. Whatever you desire, you can assume it to be yours. Begin now to live as though your dreams are already realized. Feel the joy, the peace, and the gratitude of having already achieved your goals. Hold that feeling steadfastly and watch as life bends to match your vision. For the power of assumption is the power to create, and it is yours to wield. Living from the end is a transformative way of approaching life, one that redefines how you perceive your desires and interact with your reality. It is the art of embodying the state of your wish fulfilled, not as something distant or uncertain, but as a present and tangible truth. This principle shifts your focus from longing and effort to alignment and assurance, enabling you to manifest your deepest desires with grace and ease. When you live from the end, you mentally and emotionally dwell in the state of already having achieved what you desire. It is not about wishing or hoping for something to happen, it is about feeling as if it has already occurred. This shift in consciousness creates a powerful alignment between your inner state and the outer reality you seek to experience. The key lies in recognizing that the external world is a reflection of your inner state. To change your circumstances, you must first change the way you perceive and feel about them. Imagine for a moment the life you desire. What would it feel like to have your dream job, a loving relationship, or financial freedom? Close your eyes and vividly picture the details of that life. See yourself enjoying it, hear the sounds of your success, and feel the emotions that come with it. That feeling of joy, gratitude, and fulfillment is the essence of living from the end. When you hold on to that state and make it your dominant experience, the outer world begins to rearrange itself to match your inner reality. This process is not about denying the present moment or pretending that challenges do not exist. It is about transcending the limitations of the present by anchoring yourself in the certainty of your desired outcome. Living from the end allows you to move through life with confidence and clarity, knowing that the path to your goal is unfolding perfectly, even if the steps are not immediately visible. It eliminates doubt and fear, because your focus is no longer on what might happen, but on the unwavering conviction that your desire is already yours. One of the profound aspects of living from the end is how it transforms your actions and decisions. When you see yourself as already successful, your behavior naturally aligns with that belief. You take bold steps, speak with confidence, and approach challenges with resilience, because you are no longer trying to achieve something, you are simply expressing the reality of what you already know to be true. This shift in perspective not only accelerates the manifestation of your desires, but also brings a sense of peace and empowerment. Doubts and contradictions may arise, especially when the current reality appears to conflict with your vision. But this is where persistence and faith come into play. Living from the end requires that you trust the process and remain steadfast in your inner state, regardless of external circumstances. The world around you may take time to catch up with the reality you are embodying, but it must eventually conform. circumstances are temporary and fluid, while your inner conviction is the true creative force. Living from the end is not limited to specific goals or milestones. It is a way of life. It invites you to consistently align with your highest self, to see yourself as the person you aspire to be, and to act from that place of assurance and completeness. Each time you practice this, you strengthen your ability to create consciously and intentionally. Over time, it becomes second nature, and your life transforms into a reflection of your most cherished visions. Living from the end is about recognizing that you are the creator of your reality. The power to shape your life lies within you, in your ability to assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled and to dwell in that state with unwavering faith. As you do so, you unlock the limitless potential of your imagination and witness the miraculous unfolding of a life that aligns perfectly with your deepest desires. Imagination is the most powerful faculty you possess, for it is the very essence of creation. It is through imagination that everything in the physical world comes into existence. Before anything can appear in reality, it must first exist in the realm of thought and imagination. This truth underscores a profound principle: imagination creates reality. Your ability to imagine is not a passive exercise or a form of idle daydreaming. It is the act of shaping the unseen into the seen, the intangible into the tangible. Every invention, every great work of art, and every human achievement began as an idea in someone's mind. It was imagined, nurtured, and believed in before it was brought into the world. This creative power is not reserved for a select few. It is a universal ability inherent in every individual. The question is not whether you are using your imagination, but how you are using it. Are you consciously creating the life you desire, or are you allowing your imagination to run unchecked, producing results that reflect fear, doubt, or limitation? The secret lies in the intentional use of imagination. To create the life you want, you must first see it clearly in your mind's eye. Construct vivid mental scenes that represent the fulfillment of your desires. Imagine yourself living the life you dream of, experiencing the joy, satisfaction, and peace that come with it. The more detailed and emotionally charged these scenes are, the more powerfully they impress upon your subconscious mind. Your subconscious does not distinguish between what is real and what is vividly imagined. It accepts whatever you consistently feed it as true and works tirelessly to bring that reality into being. Imagination also allows you to transcend the limitations of your current circumstances. It frees you from the constraints of the present moment, enabling you to explore possibilities that may seem impossible or out of reach. When you engage your imagination, you step into a realm where anything is possible. You are no longer bound by what you see or experience in the physical world. Instead, you align yourself with the reality you wish to create, and as you persist in that alignment, your outer world begins to shift to match your inner vision. This process requires faith and persistence. It is not enough to imagine once and then return to old patterns of doubt and worry. You must live in the state of your imagined reality, revisiting it often and holding it as your dominant mental picture. Even when evidence to the contrary appears, you must remain steadfast in your vision, knowing that the unseen is just as real, if not more so, than what is visible. Your imagination is the blueprint, and reality is simply the structure that forms around it. One of the greatest obstacles to fully embracing the creative power of imagination is the tendency to focus on how your desires will come to pass. This concern is unnecessary and counterproductive. The how is not your responsibility. It is the work of the unseen forces that respond to your focused imagination. Your role is to clearly define what you want and to dwell in the feeling of its fulfillment. Trust that the means will reveal themselves in perfect time and in ways that often surpass your expectations. Imagination creates reality not only on a grand scale but also in the small, everyday details of life. The thoughts and images you habitually entertain shape your experiences in countless ways. Whether you realize it or not, you are constantly imagining and thereby creating. By becoming aware of this process and directing it consciously, you take control of your destiny. In embracing this truth, you discover that you are not a passive observer of life, but an active participant in its creation. Your imagination is your tool, your compass, and your source of infinite possibility. Use it wisely, and you will see that the life you envision is not just a dream, but a reality waiting to unfold. The world around you will transform as your inner vision becomes your outer experience, proving time and again that imagination truly creates reality. Faith and persistence are the twin pillars upon which all manifestations rest. Together, they form an unshakable foundation for creating the life you desire. Faith is the unwavering belief in the unseen, the conviction that what you desire already exists, even if there is no physical evidence to support it. Persistence is the consistent alignment with that belief, a steadfast refusal to be swayed by circumstances, challenges, or delays. When these two qualities are combined, they become an unstoppable force, enabling you to bring your desires from the realm of imagination into tangible reality. Faith begins with trust in the power within you. It is the knowing that your desires are not random or unattainable, but are meant to be realized. Faith does not waver in the face of adversity, because it is rooted in an understanding of the creative process. What you hold firmly in your mind and feel deeply in your heart must ultimately become your experience. Faith demands that you live in the conviction of your wish fulfilled, acting and thinking as if your desired outcome is already a fact. This mental and emotional alignment is not wishful thinking, it is the deliberate creation of reality through the power of your belief. Yet, faith alone is not enough. It must be accompanied by persistence, the determined practice of holding to your vision regardless of appearances. Persistence is what carries you through the moments when doubt creeps in, or when the outer world seems to contradict your inner conviction. It is the commitment to stay the course, to continue affirming and feeling your desired state, even when the path is unclear or the journey feels long. Persistence ensures that your faith does not falter under pressure. Together, faith and persistence form a powerful synergy. Faith gives you the clarity and confidence to know what you want and believe it is yours, while persistence ensures that this belief remains steady until it manifests. Without persistence, faith can waver. Without faith, persistence loses its direction. But when they work in harmony, they create a magnetic force that draws your desires to you with precision and certainty. The challenges you face along the way are not roadblocks, but opportunities to deepen your faith and strengthen your persistence. Every delay, every obstacle, and every moment of doubt is a test of your resolve. Will you hold to your vision, or will you allow circumstances to dictate your reality? Those who succeed are not those who never face challenges, but those who refuse to let challenges define their journey. They understand that setbacks are temporary, and that the power of faith and persistence will eventually overcome all obstacles. Persistence also requires discipline. It is easy to let fleeting emotions or external distractions pull you away from your vision. But true persistence involves a deliberate choice to return to your desired state again and again, no matter how many times you are tempted to waver. This practice of mental and emotional alignment is not a one-time event, but a continuous process. The more you persist, the stronger your belief becomes, and the more quickly your reality shifts to match your vision. Faith and persistence teach you that you are the creator of your reality. They empower you to rise above circumstances, to see beyond limitations, and to claim the life you desire with confidence and determination. By embodying these qualities, you align yourself with the natural flow of creation, transforming your dreams into reality and proving that nothing is impossible for one who believes and persists. Ignoring the evidence of the senses is a profound yet challenging principle for manifesting the life you desire. It is the conscious choice to look beyond the physical world and trust in the unseen reality you are creating within. The senses sight, sound, touch, taste, and smell are powerful tools for experiencing the material world, but they are often deceptive when it comes to shaping your destiny. They present the world as it appears now, not as it could be, and can trap you in a cycle of reacting to what already exists rather than creating what you want. To ignore their evidence is to rise above appearances and anchor yourself in the vision of your desired reality. The senses reflect the past, the result of prior thoughts, beliefs, and actions, What you see in the world around you is not fixed. It is a product of your consciousness. By the time something appears in your physical experience, it is already the outcome of previous inner states. If you allow the evidence of your senses to dictate your thoughts and feelings, you are merely perpetuating the same reality over and over again. To break free from this cycle, you must focus not on what is but on what can be. You must dare to imagine and feel as though your desire is already fulfilled, regardless of what your senses are reporting. This practice requires an unwavering commitment to your inner vision. When you ignore the evidence of the senses, you are not denying reality or pretending challenges do not exist. Instead, you are choosing to give your attention and energy to a higher reality, the one you are actively creating through your imagination, beliefs, and feelings. It is the refusal to let temporary conditions define your future. By turning away from appearances, you reclaim your power to shape your life consciously. The senses are often reinforced by external opinions and societal norms. People may tell you that your dreams are unrealistic or that your circumstances are too difficult to overcome. These voices can make the evidence of the senses seem even more convincing. But those who achieve great things are those who dare to defy appearances and trust in their vision. They understand that what others see as impossible is only a reflection of their limited perspective, not an absolute truth. Persisting in the unseen requires faith, a deep belief in the reality of your desire. This faith is not blind, it is a deliberate choice to trust in the creative power within you. When you imagine vividly and feel deeply as though your desire is already realized, you impress this new reality upon your subconscious mind. The subconscious, in turn, begins to orchestrate events, circumstances, and opportunities to bring your vision into physical form. But this process can only unfold if you remain steadfast in your belief and refuse to be swayed by what the senses report. Doubts and fears often arise when there is a gap between your inner vision and the outer world. This is where the power of ignoring the evidence of the senses becomes most crucial. It is in these moments that you must reaffirm your commitment to your desired state. Instead of reacting to appearances, respond with faith and conviction. Remind yourself that the outer world is malleable, a reflection of your inner state, and that it must eventually conform to the reality you hold within. To master this principle, practice detachment from the physical world. This does not mean withdrawing from life or neglecting responsibilities. It means shifting your focus from external circumstances to your inner state. Spend time each day imagining the fulfillment of your desires. Feel the emotions of already having what you want, and carry those feelings with you throughout your day. Let them guide your actions and decisions, and let them be more real to you than the current conditions. Ignoring the evidence of the senses is not easy, especially in a world that values tangible proof and immediate results. But it is the key to unlocking the creative power within you. It allows you to move from a reactive state to a creative one, where you are no longer at the mercy of circumstances, but are actively shaping your reality. Trust in the unseen, persist in your vision, and watch as the outer world aligns with the truth you have cultivated within. In doing so, you will discover the limitless potential of your imagination and the profound truth that you are the creator of your life. To act as the winner now is to live with the confidence, mindset, and behaviors of someone who has already achieved their goals. It is the powerful act of embodying success before it physically manifests. This principle is rooted in the understanding that reality is shaped by your beliefs and actions, not merely by circumstances. The key to bringing your desires into being lies in the ability to think, feel, and act as though you have already won, regardless of what your current situation may be. When you adopt the mindset of a winner, you set into motion the events and opportunities that will ultimately lead you to success. The first step in acting as the winner now is to believe that success is inevitable for you. Winners do not question their worth or wonder if they are capable of achieving their dreams. They know it is simply a matter of when, not if. This unwavering belief creates a sense of certainty in everything they do. They approach challenges with confidence, knowing that they have the ability to overcome any obstacle that comes their way. If you want to create your desired reality, you must also cultivate this unshakable belief in your own success. The moment you truly believe that your success is inevitable, you unlock the potential to take inspired actions that lead to that success. Once you have established this belief, acting as the winner now requires you to align your thoughts, feelings, and actions with the successful outcome you desire. It means making decisions and taking steps from the perspective of someone who has already reached their goals. You must begin to ask yourself, how would a winner think, speak, and act in this situation? When you live from the place of success, you no longer wait for external conditions to change before acting. Instead, you act in accordance with the life you want to create, even before the physical evidence appears. This is where persistence and consistency come in. A winner is not deterred by temporary setbacks or challenges. They understand that obstacles are simply part of the journey, and that their success is not contingent on smooth sailing, but on their ability to stay the course. Acting as the winner now requires you to maintain focus on your vision, no matter how long the path may seem. Winners do not give up when faced with adversity. They persist, learn from failures, and keep moving forward with renewed determination. Another vital aspect of acting as the winner now is the cultivation of an abundant mindset. Winners do not focus on limitations or scarcity. Instead, they see opportunities everywhere. They approach every situation with the belief that there is more than enough for everyone, and that success is not a limited resource. This mindset allows them to stay open to new ideas, new opportunities, and new ways of achieving their goals. When you adopt this mindset, you will begin to notice the doors that open for you and the opportunities that align with your desires. As you continue to embody the traits of a winner, you also begin to develop the discipline and habits that successful individuals practice daily. Winners understand the importance of consistency and self-motivation. They know that small, daily actions lead to big results over time. Whether it's dedicating time to learning, growing your skills, or taking steps toward your goals every single day, acting as the winner now involves setting the foundation for long-term success. Winners know that their actions today create the reality of tomorrow. Acting as the winner now requires you to trust the process and have faith in your journey. The external world will not immediately reflect the success you feel on the inside, but that does not mean you are not on the right path. You must trust that the universe or life itself is aligning circumstances and opportunities to bring your desires to fruition. Even when things seem difficult, remember that everything is working in your favor. Acting as the winner now means surrendering to the flow of life, knowing that all things are unfolding as they should, in perfect timing. To act as the winner now is to take full ownership of your life and your success. It is about living with the conviction, mindset, and habits of a person who has already achieved their desires. When you believe in your success, take inspired action, maintain persistence, cultivate an abundant mindset, and trust the process. You align yourself with the outcomes you seek. Success is not something that happens in the future, it is something you create in the present. Act as the winner now, and watch as your reality transforms to match the success you've already claimed. In conclusion, remember that your thoughts, beliefs, and actions are the true architects of your reality. By acting as the winner now, you set the stage for your success and align yourself with the life you desire. It's not about waiting for the right moment or for external conditions to change. It's about living with unwavering confidence, persistence, and faith in your vision, no matter what your current circumstances may be. You are the creator of your reality, and by embodying the mindset of success, you will inevitably manifest the life you envision. Thank you for taking the time to listen and reflect on these principles. May you step forward with courage, belief, and the unshakable conviction that you are already on your path to greatness. Keep trusting in yourself and keep acting as the winner now. Your success is inevitable. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, close your eyes for a moment and listen not to the clamor of the world, but to the still, small voice within you. This voice is powerful beyond measure, for it holds the key to the transformation of your life. Your words, my friend, are not idle. They are seeds cast into the fertile soil of the unseen, destined to bloom into the harvest of your reality. When you speak blessings upon yourself, you activate the divine within. Say aloud, I am whole, I am prosperous, I am loved. Do you feel it? These words ripple through the universe, carrying your desires like a song sung into eternity. Words are not mere sounds, they are creative forces that possess the power to shape the very fabric of your reality. The words you speak, whether aloud or within the silence of your thoughts, act as a mirror to your beliefs and intentions, projecting them outward into the world. Every utterance, no matter how casual it may seem, carries a vibration that resonates with the energy of creation. When you understand this truth, you begin to see that your words are not insignificant. They are the tools by which you carve your destiny. Consider this: the spoken word begins within you as a thought, a feeling, or a desire. It is the essence of your inner world made audible. When you declare something aloud, you are not simply describing reality, you are actively shaping it. Words serve as bridges between the unseen and the seen, between the intangible world of imagination and the tangible world of experience. Every time you speak, you are planting seeds in the soil of the universe, seeds that will sprout and grow into the life you live. Many people speak without awareness of this power. They utter words of doubt, fear, or limitation, thinking them harmless or insignificant. Yet these words have the same creative energy as those spoken with intention. To say, I can't or I'm not good enough, is to affirm these limitations as truths. Such declarations take root in your subconscious mind, which knows no distinction between jest and sincerity. It accepts every word as a directive and works tirelessly to make it so. On the other hand, when you speak words of confidence, love, and abundance, you align yourself with the higher vibrations of the universe. To say, I am worthy or I have everything I need, is to declare a reality that your subconscious mind will work to manifest. These positive affirmations act as commands to the unseen forces around you, drawing circumstances, people, and opportunities into your life that align with your declarations. The power of the spoken word lies in its ability to focus your energy and direct it toward a specific outcome. Imagine your words as arrows, each one aimed at the target of your desire. If you speak with clarity and intention, your arrow flies straight and true. But if your words are scattered, contradictory, or filled with doubt, your aim falters, and your target remains out of reach. This is why it is vital to speak with awareness and purpose. Before you speak, consider the energy behind your words. Are they uplifting and empowering, or do they carry the weight of fear and negativity? By choosing your words carefully, you take control of the energy you emit and, consequently, the reality you create. Speaking with intention does not mean ignoring the challenges or difficulties of life. Rather, it means framing your words in a way that acknowledges these challenges while affirming your ability to overcome them. Instead of saying, I am stuck, you might say, I am finding my way forward. Instead of lamenting, this is impossible, you might declare, I am discovering a solution. Such shifts may seem subtle, but their impact is profound. They transform your perspective and open the door to possibilities that your previous words may have closed. Repetition is a powerful aspect of the spoken word. The more often you affirm something, the more deeply it becomes ingrained in your subconscious mind. This is why daily affirmations can be so transformative. When you repeatedly declare, I am healthy, I am prosperous, I am loved, you are training your mind to accept these truths, even if your current reality seems to contradict them. Over time, these affirmations shape your beliefs, and your beliefs, in turn, shape your experience. But the power of the spoken word is not limited to what you say about yourself. It also extends to what you say about others. Every word you speak about another person carries energy that affects not only them but also you. When you speak words of kindness, encouragement, and love, you elevate your own vibration and contribute to the well-being of those around you. Conversely, words of criticism, anger, or judgment lower your vibration and perpetuate negativity. To harness the full power of the spoken word, you must speak not only with intention but also with faith. Words spoken without belief are like seeds sown on barren ground. They lack the nourishment needed to grow. But when you speak with conviction, your words are infused with the energy of belief, and they take root in the fertile soil of the universe. Faith is the water that nurtures these seeds, ensuring that they blossom into reality. In every moment, you have the choice to use your words as instruments of creation or as tools of destruction. Choose wisely. Speak life into your dreams, affirm your worthiness, and declare the reality you wish to experience. As you do, you will come to realize the extraordinary power of the spoken word and the limitless potential it holds to transform your life. The words you speak must be a reflection of the reality you wish to experience, not the conditions you currently face. This alignment between your speech and your inner vision is a critical principle in the art of creation. To align your words with your vision is to act as if your desired reality already exists. When you understand this, your words become not just sounds or expressions, but deliberate tools that shape the unfolding of your life. Your inner vision is the realm where your imagination weaves possibilities, the sacred space where your desires take form before they manifest in the physical world. It is in this internal world that you are free to dream boldly and envision the life you truly want. However, the key to bringing these visions to life lies in how you express them outwardly through your words. When your speech aligns with the vibrant images of your inner vision, you bridge the gap between what is unseen and what can be seen. Most people speak in accordance with their current circumstances, giving voice to frustrations, doubts, and limitations. They say, "I can't afford that," or "nothing ever works out for me," and in doing so, they unknowingly affirm and perpetuate the very conditions they wish to escape. Words such as these, spoken without awareness, anchor you to the reality you seek to transcend. They become self-fulfilling prophecies, reinforcing the patterns you long to change. Consider what happens when you choose to speak as though your desired reality is already here. Suppose you wish to experience financial abundance. Rather than saying, "I'm broke," you declare, "I am abundant, and opportunities flow to me effortlessly." You might not yet see the evidence of this abundance, but by speaking it into existence, you align your external words with your internal vision. This alignment creates a resonance between your thoughts, emotions, and speech, setting into motion the forces that will bring your vision to fruition. It is also important to speak with gratitude for the fulfillment of your vision, even before it manifests. Gratitude is a magnetic force that draws your desires closer to you. When you say, "Thank you for the abundance in my life," you are acknowledging that it already exists in the unseen realm. This gratitude amplifies your alignment and accelerates the manifestation process. By aligning your speech with your inner vision, you take an active role in shaping your reality. You move from reacting to circumstances to creating them. This shift empowers you to live with intention and purpose, knowing that you are the architect of your life. Every word you speak becomes a brushstroke in the masterpiece of your existence, painting a picture of possibility, joy, and fulfillment. As you align your speech with your inner vision, you unlock the door to a life that reflects the beauty and brilliance of your imagination. To bless yourself is to recognize the divine authority within you, a power bestowed not by external forces, but by the essence of your very being. You are not separate from the divine, you are an expression of it, endowed with the ability to shape your reality through your thoughts, intentions, and words. Self-blessing is not an act of arrogance, but an acknowledgement of this sacred truth. It is the conscious act of declaring your worthiness, aligning with the divine energy that flows through you, and stepping into the role of co-creator of your life. When you bless yourself, you tap into an ancient and universal principle, the power to call forth that which you desire through the authority of your spoken word. Many people reserve blessings for others, offering kind words, prayers, or affirmations, yet hesitate to direct this same energy toward themselves. They may feel unworthy, burdened by guilt, or constrained by the belief that self-blessing is selfish or inappropriate. However, to bless yourself is to affirm that you are a vessel of divine light, deserving of every good thing that life has to offer. Self-blessing begins with a shift in perspective. It requires you to see yourself not as a flawed or incomplete being, but as whole, perfect, and inherently connected to the divine source. This perspective does not ignore your human experiences, struggles, or imperfections. Rather, it transcends them, recognizing that beneath the layers of doubt and fear lies your true, unblemished self. By blessing yourself, you affirm this truth, aligning your words and intentions with the higher reality of who you are. The words you choose in self-blessing carry immense power. When you declare, "I am strong" or "I am loved," you are not merely making statements, you are activating the divine within you. These declarations are more than affirmations, they are proclamations of your authority as a co-creator with the universe. Your words become commands that resonate through the unseen realms, calling forth the energy needed to bring your blessings to life. Some may wonder, can I really bless myself? Isn't that the role of a higher power? The answer lies in understanding your relationship with the divine. You are not separate from this higher power, you are an extension of it. To bless yourself is to honor the divine within you, recognizing that the power to create, to heal, and to transform resides in your very essence. You are not asking for permission to receive blessings, you are claiming what is already yours by divine right. Self-blessing is a profound act of self-love and self-worth. It requires you to silence the voice of doubt that says you are not enough. It challenges the belief that blessings must come from others or be earned through struggle. Instead, it invites you to declare, "I am worthy simply because I exist." This affirmation is not only empowering but transformative, reshaping your self-perception and opening the door to greater abundance, joy, and peace. The practice of self-blessing can take many forms. It may be as simple as speaking positive affirmations over yourself each morning, such as, "Today, I am filled with strength and courage," or "I am surrounded by love and guided by wisdom." It could involve a quiet moment of reflection, placing your hands over your heart and silently affirming your divine connection. It might include journaling your blessings, writing statements like, "I bless myself with clarity, confidence, and creativity." Whatever form it takes, the essence of self-blessing lies in your intention and belief. Consistency is key. The more often you bless yourself, the more deeply these affirmations will take root in your subconscious mind. Over time, they become not just words but truths, shifting your energy and attracting experiences that align with your declarations. Self-blessing is not a one-time act but a daily practice, a habit of honoring yourself and affirming your divine authority. It is also important to recognize that self-blessing extends beyond words. Your actions, too, can be expressions of blessing. When you take care of your body, nurture your mind, and honor your emotions, you are blessing yourself with health and well-being. When you pursue your passions, set boundaries, and embrace your worth, you are blessing yourself with freedom and fulfillment. Every choice you make that aligns with your highest good is an act of self-blessing. In blessing yourself, you not only transform your own life but also inspire and uplift those around you. Your light becomes a beacon, showing others what is possible when one steps into their divine authority. As you bless yourself, you radiate positivity and empowerment, creating a ripple effect that extends far beyond your immediate experience. You are not merely a recipient of blessings, you are a source of them. Within you lies the authority to declare, to create, and to manifest. By blessing yourself, you activate this authority, stepping into the fullness of your power and embracing the divine truth of who you are. This act of self-blessing is not only a gift to yourself but a testament to the infinite potential that resides within every soul. Doubt is a whispering shadow that lurks in the corners of the mind, casting uncertainty over your dreams and aspirations. It questions your worth, undermines your confidence, and often stalls your progress. Yet doubt is not an undefeatable force, it is a condition of the mind that can be silenced and replaced with certainty. The tool to achieve this transformation is affirmation. Affirmation is the deliberate use of words to redirect your thoughts and anchor them in truth, possibility, and empowerment. When you silence doubt with affirmation, you reclaim your power and align yourself with the reality you wish to create. Doubt thrives in the absence of clarity and confidence. It feeds on past failures, perceived inadequacies, and fear of the unknown. It tells you that you are not capable, not deserving, or that the risks outweigh the rewards. Left unchecked, these internal voices of doubt can become a dominant narrative, shaping how you see yourself and the world around you. However, doubt is not a reflection of truth, it is a habit of the mind. And like any habit, it can be unlearned and replaced with something far more constructive. Affirmation is the antidote to doubt, because it operates on the same level where doubt resides the mind. Your thoughts create your reality, and affirmations are the conscious selection of thoughts that empower rather than hinder you. They are not mere words, they are declarations that carry energy and intention. When spoken with belief, affirmations reprogram your subconscious mind, gradually dissolving the patterns of doubt and replacing them with conviction. The first step in using affirmation to silence doubt is awareness. You must become conscious of the negative thoughts and limiting beliefs that arise in your mind. Doubt often speaks in the language of "I can't," "I'm not enough," or "what if I fail?" Pay attention to these patterns and recognize them for what they are: temporary mental constructs, not absolute truths. Once you identify the voice of doubt, you can counter it with affirmations that affirm the opposite. For example, if doubt tells you, "I'm not capable of achieving this goal," your affirmation might be, "I am fully equipped with the skills and resources I need to succeed." If doubt whispers, "What if I fail?" your affirmation can be, "Every step I take brings me closer to success, and every challenge is an opportunity to grow." By consciously replacing the language of doubt with affirmations of empowerment, you begin to shift your mental focus from fear to possibility. Consistency is crucial in this process. Doubt has likely been a recurring pattern in your mind for years, reinforced by repetition and experience. To overcome it, you must be just as consistent with your affirmations. Speak them daily, preferably out loud and with conviction. Write them down and place them where you can see them, often on your mirror, your desk, or your phone screen. The more frequently you expose yourself to affirmations, the more deeply they become ingrained in your subconscious mind. Belief amplifies the power of affirmation. It is not enough to recite words mechanically, you must connect with their meaning and feel their truth. When you say, "I am confident and capable," imagine yourself embodying those qualities. Visualize situations where your confidence shines and your capabilities lead to success. By combining affirmations with visualization, you create a vivid mental image of the reality you desire, making it feel more tangible and attainable. Doubt often masquerades as caution or practicality, but it is important to distinguish between genuine wisdom and self-imposed limitations. Affirmations are not about ignoring reality, they are about reshaping your perspective to align with the outcomes you desire. When you affirm, "I am deserving of abundance," you are not denying financial challenges, you are choosing to focus on solutions, opportunities, and your inherent worthiness. This shift in focus alters your energy and attracts circumstances that support your affirmation. One of the most powerful aspects of affirmation is its ability to create momentum. The more you affirm positive beliefs about yourself and your potential, the more evidence you begin to notice that supports these beliefs. Success breeds confidence, which in turn silences doubt even further. It becomes a self-reinforcing cycle. The more you affirm your strength, capability, and worth, the less room there is for doubt to take hold. Silencing doubt with affirmation also requires patience and compassion. Change does not happen overnight, and moments of doubt may still arise. When they do, meet them with understanding rather than frustration. Remind yourself that transformation is a process, and every affirmation you speak is a step toward the freedom and confidence you seek. Your words become your allies, your tools for reclaiming control over your inner narrative. Affirmations allow you to speak directly to your subconscious mind, guiding it away from fear and toward faith. With each affirmation, you reinforce the truth of who you are: a capable, deserving, and powerful individual. Doubt may whisper, but through the consistent and intentional use of affirmations, you can ensure that it never drowns out the voice of your potential. As you persist, you will find that doubt fades, replaced by an unwavering belief in yourself and the boundless possibilities before you. Gratitude in the present tense is a profound practice that transforms the way you perceive and experience life. It is not merely the act of giving thanks for things you have received or achieved, but an active acknowledgement of the abundance that exists in this very moment. When gratitude is expressed in the present tense, it becomes a tool to align your thoughts, emotions, and energy with the frequency of abundance, opening the door to even greater blessings. This practice invites you to live fully in the now, seeing each moment as a gift and embracing the richness that surrounds you. The power of present tense gratitude lies in its immediacy. Many people fall into the habit of placing gratitude in the past or future, thanking life for what has been or for what they hope to receive. While these expressions have value, they often distance you from the fullness of the present. When you say, "I am grateful for this moment," you anchor yourself in the now, affirming that this moment, exactly as it is, holds beauty and significance. You acknowledge that there is something to be appreciated here and now, regardless of circumstances. Gratitude in the present tense shifts your focus from lack to abundance. The human mind often gravitates toward what is missing, what could be better, or what has yet to be achieved. This tendency creates a sense of dissatisfaction, as if life is incomplete. Present tense gratitude interrupts this pattern by directing your attention to what is already here. By affirming, "I am grateful for the opportunities unfolding today," or "I am thankful for the breath that sustains me in this moment," you remind yourself that life is already abundant. This shift in perspective transforms your energy, replacing feelings of scarcity with those of fulfillment. Practicing gratitude in the present tense is also a declaration of faith. It is an acknowledgement that the universe is working in your favor, even if the outcomes you desire have not yet materialized. When you say, "I am grateful for the love that surrounds me even in moments of loneliness," you affirm that love exists and is accessible to you. By expressing gratitude for something as if it is already present, you align yourself with the energy of receiving, which draws those experiences closer to you. This is not about denying reality, but about choosing to focus on the possibilities inherent in every situation. The language of present tense gratitude matters deeply. Words carry energy, and the way you frame your gratitude shapes your experience. Statements like, "I am grateful for my growing strength," or "I appreciate the peace I feel within," affirm qualities and experiences as current truths. Even if these qualities feel aspirational, expressing them in the present tense helps bridge the gap between where you are and where you want to be. Your mind begins to accept these affirmations as reality, guiding your thoughts and actions in alignment with them. Gratitude in the present tense also cultivates mindfulness. It encourages you to pay attention to the details of your life that often go unnoticed. The warmth of sunlight on your skin, the sound of a loved one's laughter, the taste of a favorite meal, each of these moments becomes an opportunity for gratitude. By grounding yourself in the present, you become more attuned to the richness of your daily experiences. This heightened awareness deepens your appreciation for life's simple yet profound joys. This practice extends beyond words into your feelings. True gratitude is not just spoken but felt deeply in your heart. When you express present tense gratitude, take a moment to pause and connect with the emotion behind your words. Let yourself feel the joy, peace, or love that comes with your appreciation. This emotional connection amplifies the energy of gratitude, making it even more transformative. It is this feeling that resonates with the universe, sending out a vibration that attracts more of what you are grateful for. Consistency is essential for cultivating present tense gratitude. Like any practice, it becomes more natural and powerful with repetition. Begin or end your day by reflecting on what you are grateful for in the moment. Write it down in a journal, speak it aloud, or simply hold it in your mind. Over time, you will notice a shift in your overall mindset. Life's challenges will feel less overwhelming, and its blessings will feel more abundant. Gratitude will become your default lens through which you view the world. Present tense gratitude is also an act of self-care. By appreciating yourself and your current state, you nurture a sense of self-worth and inner peace. Affirming statements like, "I am thankful for my resilience," or "I appreciate the effort I put into my growth," reinforces your value and contributions. This practice helps quiet the critical voice that focuses on shortcomings, replacing it with one that celebrates your strengths and efforts. Gratitude in the present tense is a way of living. It is a choice to see each moment as sacred, each experience as meaningful, and each challenge as an opportunity for growth. By embracing this practice, you shift your focus from what is missing to what is present, from longing to fulfillment, and from scarcity to abundance. Gratitude becomes not just something you express but something you embody, transforming your perspective and your life in profound and lasting ways. Repetition is one of the most powerful forces in shaping reality. The things you do, say, and think repeatedly lay the foundation for the life you experience. It is through repetition that beliefs are formed, habits are established, and outcomes are created. Whether consciously or unconsciously, what you focus on and reinforce with consistency becomes your reality. Understanding this principle gives you the ability to take control of your life by deliberately repeating thoughts, actions, and affirmations that align with the reality you wish to create. The mind learns through repetition. From an early age, you absorb beliefs and patterns from your environment through repeated exposure. These beliefs shape your understanding of what is possible, desirable, or even inevitable in life. If you repeatedly heard messages of limitation, such as life is hard or money doesn't grow on trees, those beliefs likely took root in your subconscious mind. On the other hand, if you were surrounded by encouragement and affirmations of possibility, your mind adopted those positive narratives. This process never stops. Your mind continues to absorb and reinforce whatever you focus on most. Repetition strengthens neural pathways in the brain. When a thought or action is repeated, it becomes easier to access and execute because the brain creates more efficient connections to support it. This is why learning a new skill or habit initially feels challenging but becomes second nature over time. The more you practice a new way of thinking or acting, the stronger the neural pathways become, and the more natural it feels. This principle works for both positive and negative patterns, which is why it is crucial to be intentional about what you repeat. In the context of creating your reality, repetition is the mechanism through which affirmations, visualization, and deliberate actions become effective. When you repeat positive affirmations, such as "I am worthy of success" or "abundance flows to me easily," you begin to overwrite old, limiting beliefs. The subconscious mind, which cannot distinguish between reality and imagination, starts to accept these affirmations as truth. Over time, your actions and decisions align with these new beliefs, leading to tangible changes in your external reality. The power of repetition extends beyond thoughts to actions. What you do repeatedly becomes your habit, and your habits shape your life. If you consistently take small steps toward your goals, those actions compound over time, leading to significant progress. For example, a daily practice of gratitude trains your mind to focus on the positive aspects of your life, creating a sense of abundance and attracting more things to be grateful for. Similarly, repeatedly practicing a skill, even for a few minutes a day, leads to mastery over time. Repetition also plays a crucial role in overcoming resistance. When you set out to change your thoughts, habits, or circumstances, you may encounter doubt, discomfort, or setbacks. This resistance is natural because your mind and body are accustomed to the familiar, even if it is not beneficial. By persisting with repetition, you break through this initial resistance and rewire your mind and body to embrace the new. Over time, what once felt difficult becomes effortless, and the new pattern takes root. Consistency is the key to harnessing the power of repetition. Sporadic effort does not create lasting change. Whether you are working on developing a new habit, adopting a positive mindset, or achieving a goal, daily commitment is essential. Even small, consistent actions can create monumental shifts when repeated over time. This consistency signals to your mind and the universe that you are serious about your intentions, amplifying the energy you put into your desired outcome. Repetition also creates momentum. When you repeat positive thoughts and actions, they build upon each other, generating a sense of progress and confidence. This momentum makes it easier to stay on track, even when challenges arise. Conversely, when negative patterns are repeated, they can create a downward spiral of doubt, fear, and inaction. Being mindful of your repetitions allows you to break free from negative cycles and replace them with constructive ones. The beauty of repetition lies in its simplicity. You do not need grand gestures or immediate perfection to create meaningful change. It is the small repeated actions affirming your worth, taking a step toward your goal, showing gratitude that accumulate to transform your reality. This approach empowers you to start where you are, with what you have, and build from there. It is also important to pair repetition with belief and intention. Repeating something mindlessly or without conviction diminishes its effectiveness. When you affirm, act, or visualize, do so with the belief that your efforts are meaningful and impactful. Feel the truth of your affirmations, imagine the outcome of your actions, and trust the process. This alignment of repetition, belief, and intention accelerates the manifestation of your desired reality. Repetition is a process of creation. It is through consistent, intentional repetition that you shape your thoughts, direct your actions, and design your life. By choosing what you repeat with care, you can break free from limiting patterns and create a reality that reflects your highest potential. Remember, every moment is an opportunity to start anew. Each thought, word, and action you repeat becomes a building block of your future. And with mindful repetition, you can create a life that aligns with your dreams and aspirations. Speaking from a place of love and worthiness transforms not only the words you utter, but also the energy you bring into the world. Every word you speak carries a vibration, a resonance that shapes your relationships, your self-perception, and the reality you create. When your words are rooted in love and a deep sense of your own worth, they carry a power that can heal, uplift, and manifest the life you desire. This practice is not about pretending or performing, but about aligning with the truth of who you are and allowing that truth to guide your expression. To speak from love is to choose a perspective of compassion, kindness, and understanding in your communication. It begins with recognizing that love is not just a feeling but a state of being. When you align with love, you naturally seek to uplift and connect rather than to judge or divide. This does not mean avoiding honesty or difficult conversations instead. It means approaching every interaction with an intention to honor the inherent value of yourself and others. Love-infused words have the power to transform even the most challenging situations because they stem from a place of unity rather than separation. Equally important is the foundation of worthiness. Speaking from worthiness means acknowledging your intrinsic value and expressing yourself with confidence and authenticity. It is a declaration that you matter, that your voice deserves to be heard, and that your perspective holds significance. Many people struggle with feelings of unworthiness, often silencing their voices or diminishing their truth out of fear of rejection or judgment. But when you anchor yourself in the understanding that your worth is not dependent on external validation, you can speak with clarity, conviction, and grace. The combination of love and worthiness in your speech creates a powerful harmony. Love ensures that your words are guided by care and intention, while worthiness gives them strength and authenticity. Together, they allow you to communicate in a way that is both heartfelt and impactful. This approach benefits not only the listener but also yourself, as it reinforces your alignment with your highest self. Speaking from love and worthiness becomes a practice of self-respect and self-expression, deepening your connection with your inner truth. The way you speak to yourself is just as important as the way you speak to others. Your internal dialogue shapes your beliefs, emotions, and actions. When your self-talk is infused with love and worthiness, it becomes a source of empowerment rather than self-sabotage. Instead of criticizing yourself for perceived flaws or failures, you can choose words of encouragement and understanding. For example, rather than saying, "I can't do this," you might affirm, "I am learning and growing every day." This shift in language not only boosts your confidence but also reinforces the truth of your inherent value. Practicing love and worthiness in speech requires mindfulness. It involves becoming aware of the words you use, the tone you adopt, and the intentions behind your communication. Before speaking, take a moment to pause and consider, are my words aligned with love? Do they reflect my belief in my own worth and the worth of others? This practice may feel unfamiliar at first, especially if you are accustomed to reacting out of habit or speaking from a place of fear or insecurity. But with intention and repetition, it becomes second nature. One of the most profound ways to speak from love and worthiness is through affirmations. Affirmations are powerful declarations that align your thoughts and words with the reality you wish to create. By affirming statements such as, "I am deserving of love and respect," or "My words carry wisdom and kindness," you reinforce these truths within yourself. When spoken with belief and emotion, affirmations act as seeds planted in the fertile soil of your subconscious, growing into a life that reflects their essence. Speaking from love and worthiness also requires courage. It takes bravery to express your truth, especially in a world that sometimes dismisses vulnerability or authenticity. But love and worthiness are not about perfection, they are about embracing your humanity and sharing it openly. When you speak from this place, you inspire others to do the same, creating a ripple effect of authenticity and connection. This practice does not mean that every word will always be perfectly chosen or received. There will be moments when fear, frustration, or doubt clouds your speech. When this happens, it is an opportunity to return to love and worthiness, to apologize if needed, and to recommit to speaking from your highest self. Growth is not linear, but each step you take in aligning your words with love and worthiness strengthens your ability to communicate with power and grace. Speaking from love and worthiness is a choice to honor yourself and others, to create with intention, and to live authentically. It is a practice that transforms your relationships, your self-perception, and your impact on the world. When you speak from this place, you radiate a truth that cannot be ignored, a light that touches everyone who hears you. By aligning your words with the energy of love and the truth of your worth, you become a beacon of possibility, reminding yourself and others of the infinite potential that lies within. In conclusion, speaking from love and worthiness is a transformative practice that has the power to shape your life and the lives of those around you. By aligning your words with compassion, authenticity, and a deep sense of your own value, you create an energy that not only uplifts others but also strengthens your connection with your highest self. The words you speak, both to yourself and others, have the potential to heal, inspire, and manifest the reality you desire. Remember, your voice matters, and when spoken from a place of love and worthiness, it becomes a force for positive change. Thank you for taking the time to reflect on the power of your words. May you continue to speak with love, confidence, and authenticity, knowing that every word you choose is creating the life you truly deserve. Ladies and gentlemen, there is a truth that once you realize it, changes everything. It's a simple truth, but one that holds the key to unlocking a life of abundance, peace, and creation. That truth is this: your words are the architects of your reality. Your words are more than just sounds or symbols. They are the very building blocks of the world you experience. Every word you speak, whether in conversation to yourself or in prayer, carries immense creative power. The idea that your word creates your reality is not simply a metaphor. It is a fundamental truth about how the universe operates. When you truly understand this, you will begin to realize that the life you are living is a direct reflection of the words you have spoken, consciously or unconsciously. The moment you speak, you release a vibration into the universe, one that aligns with your internal state. Words are not mere noise, they are frequencies, energy that travels through the air and impacts the world around you. What you speak aligns with your beliefs, your emotions, and your subconscious programming. Every statement you make reinforces the circumstances you find yourself in, whether you realize it or not. When you say, "I am not good enough," or "I will never succeed," you are planting seeds of limitation and failure. Those words then find their way into your reality, creating circumstances that reflect that belief. On the other hand, when you speak words of affirmation, belief, and positivity, you begin to create a reality that mirrors those words. When you say, "I am worthy," or "I am successful," you are sowing seeds of empowerment. The universe, which is a mirror of your inner world, begins to reflect these positive affirmations back to you in the form of opportunities, events, and relationships that align with your beliefs. Your words shape your thoughts shape your emotions, and your emotions shape your actions. This is the creative process, and it all begins with the words you speak. This principle is not limited to words spoken out loud, The words you speak internally have just as much power. What you tell yourself in the quiet of your own mind is just as influential in shaping your life. If you spend your days telling yourself that things are hard, that you can't do it, or that life is unfair, you are reinforcing a mindset of struggle and limitation. If, however, you shift those internal dialogues to ones of gratitude, possibility, and strength, your life will begin to reflect those beliefs. It's essential to recognize that the words you speak do not just shape your immediate environment, but influence the trajectory of your life. The language you use reflects your self-image, your level of self-worth, and your understanding of what is possible for you. If you constantly speak of lack, scarcity, or misfortune, you are solidifying the belief that those things are a permanent part of your life. However, when you speak of abundance, gratitude, and opportunity, you open the door to endless possibilities. When you understand this principle, it becomes clear that one of the most powerful actions you can take is to guard your words. Speak with intention, speak with awareness. Do not let your words slip carelessly out of your mouth, because each one is an imprint on your future. This is why silence becomes so important. There is a time to speak and a time to remain silent. When you speak without thought, you create disharmony. But when you speak with intention, your words become a tool for creation, sculpting the life you desire. You may be wondering, if my words are so powerful, why haven't I seen my desires come to life? The answer lies in the consistency and belief behind your words. You cannot simply repeat a positive affirmation once and expect immediate results. Your words must come from a place of deep belief and inner conviction. It's not just about the words you say, it's about the energy and emotion you attach to them. When your words align with your deepest truths and are spoken with unwavering faith, that's when the universe responds. As you begin to recognize the power of your words, start to speak with purpose. When you speak, do so with the understanding that you are creating your world. Choose words that affirm your worth, that empower your desires, and that reflect the life you want to live. Speak only those things that align with your highest vision for yourself. Know that with every word you speak, you are shaping the reality that unfolds before you. The power of imagination lies in its ability to transcend the limitations of your current reality. When you imagine, you are stepping outside of the constraints of the physical world and tapping into the realm of infinite possibility. The more vividly and consistently you can imagine a desired outcome, the more it impresses your subconscious mind, which in turn begins to shape your external world in alignment with that vision. It's important to understand that imagination is not limited to mere fantasy or wishful thinking. It is a process of aligning your inner world with your outer desires, knowing that what you hold in your mind will eventually materialize in your life. One of the keys to harnessing the power of imagination is to create a clear and compelling vision of what you want. Without a defined image, you are left at the mercy of random thoughts and fleeting desires. But once you know exactly what you want, you can focus your imagination on that outcome with unwavering clarity. This is where many people go wrong. They fail to give their imagination a specific target, leaving their mind to wander aimlessly. The clearer and more focused your imagination becomes, the more easily it can guide your subconscious toward its manifestation. Visualization techniques, affirmations, and mental rehearsals are all tools that help you train your mind to see and feel your desired reality as if it is already here. It's not enough to simply imagine, you must also believe in the power of your imagination. Doubt and disbelief are the greatest enemies of creative imagination. The more you believe that your imagination has the power to shape your world, the stronger it becomes. When you hold the belief that your imagined reality is as real and tangible as the world you see around you, the universe has no choice but to bring it into existence. The key is to align your imagination with your belief system, knowing that what you imagine is not a far-off dream, but a reality waiting to unfold. The act of imagining requires you to go beyond the limitations of the physical senses. It asks you to trust in the unseen and the unknown, to know that the power to create lies within you. Imagination allows you to bypass the limitations of time and space, enabling you to see, feel, and experience the future as if it has already occurred. This is why it is so important to create a mental image of success, of wealth, of health, or whatever it is you desire. By constantly focusing your mind on this vision and holding it with strong emotion and belief, you begin to align your actions and decisions with that vision, and in time, the world reflects it. Imagination is not a passive process, it is an active, creative force. When you engage your imagination in this way, you are sending a clear message to the universe, to your subconscious mind, and to every cell in your body that you are ready to manifest your desires. The more you practice this, the more powerful your imagination becomes, and the more quickly your dreams become your reality. Trust in the power of imagination, for it is the key to unlocking the life you have always desired. It is not just a tool for creating dreams, it is the very means by which those dreams come to life. Seeking validation from others is a natural human tendency, but it is also one of the most limiting behaviors you can engage in. When you rely on the approval or recognition of others to feel worthy or successful, you give away your power. You place your sense of self-worth in the hands of people who may not understand you or who may be unaware of the true value you bring to the world. Seeking external validation only serves to reinforce feelings of insecurity and dependency. It is only by learning to validate yourself that you can unlock your true potential and live a life of true freedom. The truth is that you do not need anyone's approval to be worthy. You are already enough as you are. Your worth is inherent, and it is not determined by the opinions, judgments, or acknowledgments of others. When you place your value on external validation, you are setting yourself up for a never-ending cycle of disappointment and frustration. People will always have different opinions, and no matter how much you seek their approval, there will always be someone who disagrees or fails to acknowledge your efforts. This constant cycle of seeking external validation creates an emotional roller coaster, where your self-esteem rises and falls based on the actions and words of others. When you stop seeking validation, you begin to free yourself from the need for external approval. You realize that your happiness and fulfillment do not depend on whether others affirm your worth. Instead, your confidence and peace come from within. It is through self-validation that you truly find your power. When you validate yourself, you are affirming your own value, regardless of the opinions of others. This shift in mindset is liberating, as it allows you to move through life with a sense of inner peace and confidence, unshaken by external judgments or praise. Self-validation is a process of accepting yourself fully, your strengths, your flaws, your successes, and your failures. It requires that you be honest with yourself about who you are and what you bring to the world. You no longer need to seek permission to be yourself or to follow your dreams. You know deep within that you are worthy of all that you desire, simply because you exist. This understanding shifts your focus from seeking approval to creating the life you want, regardless of whether others understand or support you. One of the key steps in stopping the habit of seeking validation is to stop comparing yourself to others. Comparison is a thief of joy and a powerful force that feeds the need for external approval. When you compare yourself to others, you automatically place yourself in a position where you feel inferior or inadequate. You begin to measure your worth against someone else's achievements or appearance, which is an unfair and inaccurate measure of who you are. Instead, focus on your own journey and celebrate your unique path. Understand that everyone has their own timeline, and your worth is not tied to how you measure up against others. Let go of the need for others to agree with your choices, your beliefs, or your way of doing things. Trust in your own judgment and intuition. You know what is best for you, and when you stop seeking validation, you can make decisions that are aligned with your true self. You can follow your passions, express your creativity, and build a life that reflects your deepest desires without the fear of judgment or rejection. The journey to stop seeking validation is not easy, and it requires a commitment to your own growth and self-awareness. It requires that you become comfortable with being alone, not in a sense of isolation, but in a sense of self-sufficiency. When you validate yourself, you no longer need to seek approval from others to feel complete. You are whole just as you are. as you begin to stop seeking validation from others, you will experience a profound sense of freedom. You will find that you are more authentic, more confident, and more aligned with your true self. Your happiness will no longer be dependent on the opinions of others, and you will feel empowered to create a life that is true to who you are. The power to shape your reality lies within you, and once you stop seeking validation, you will unlock the full potential of your being. The subconscious mind is an incredibly powerful force within you, working tirelessly behind the scenes to shape your reality. It is responsible for everything from the habits you hold to the beliefs you live by, and even the outcomes you experience. Once you learn to harness the power of your subconscious, you can let it do the heavy lifting for you, making your desires a reality with less conscious effort and strain. The key to unlocking this potential is understanding that the subconscious works best when you stop trying to control every detail with your conscious mind and instead allow it to operate naturally, trusting it to create the conditions for your success. The subconscious mind is like a sponge, absorbing every experience, thought, emotion, and belief you encounter throughout your life. Unlike the conscious mind, which is limited in its processing ability and focuses on the present moment, the subconscious is vast and timeless, storing information beyond your immediate awareness. This part of the mind is always working, processing the information you provide, and directing your actions accordingly. Your subconscious mind is not concerned with the how of things, it simply reacts to the thoughts and beliefs you plant in it. When you understand this, you can stop struggling and start allowing your subconscious to bring forth the results you desire. One of the most important steps to letting the subconscious do the work is to shift your focus from conscious effort to belief. When you consciously desire something, you often put a lot of effort into trying to make it happen. You focus on the how, pushing and striving toward an outcome. However, this approach often leads to frustration and burnout because the subconscious mind operates outside of the realm of logic and linear thinking. It works through energy, images, and emotions. The more you focus on the feeling of already having what you desire, the more you align with the subconscious mind's way of working. The key is to create a vivid mental image of your desired outcome, something that excites you and fills you with emotion. By mentally rehearsing the experience as though it has already occurred, you are impressing your subconscious mind with the belief that it is true. The subconscious cannot distinguish between what is real and what is vividly imagined. When you imagine success, wealth, love, or any other desired outcome with enough emotional intensity, your subconscious begins to believe it is true. Over time, it begins to direct your thoughts, actions, and behaviors in ways that align with that belief, all without the conscious mind having to exert effort. Trusting the subconscious mind means surrendering the how and letting go of the need to control every step. When you stop overthinking and striving, you allow space for the subconscious to operate in its own way. It can work behind the scenes, orchestrating the events and opportunities needed for your desires to manifest. This requires faith and patience, as the subconscious operates on its own timeline. It doesn't need your constant input or your efforts to make things happen. Once you set the intention and align your thoughts and feelings with your desires, the subconscious takes over and does the rest. The beauty of letting the subconscious do the work is that it doesn't require conscious effort. You don't have to push or force anything into existence. Instead, you become a magnet for your desires. As your subconscious begins to align with your inner vision, you will notice opportunities, insights, and inspirations arising in your life. Your actions will feel effortless, and you will find that things begin to unfold in a way that feels natural and harmonious. To make this process even more effective, it's important to be consistent with the thoughts and beliefs you impress upon the subconscious mind. This is where repetition comes into play. When you consistently visualize your desired outcome, affirm your worth, and maintain a positive mental attitude, you reinforce these beliefs within the subconscious. Repetition is key because it strengthens the connection between your conscious desires and the subconscious programming that guides your actions. Another powerful tool for letting the subconscious do the work is affirmation. Affirmations are positive, present tense statements that reinforce your desired reality. Repeating these affirmations daily, especially in a relaxed and focused state, allows the subconscious mind to absorb them deeply, making them part of your mental programming. Over time, these affirmations will become the foundation of your thoughts and actions, leading to natural changes in your life without the need for intense, forced effort. The subconscious mind is your ally in creating the life you desire. When you trust it to do the work, you free yourself from the burden of overthinking and struggling. By focusing on the feeling of already having what you desire, and consistently impressing your subconscious with positive, empowering beliefs, you allow it to work in harmony with the laws of the universe, bringing your desires into physical form effortlessly. Surrendering to this process is not about giving up on your goals. It is about trusting that the subconscious mind is the most powerful tool you have to manifest your desires with grace and ease. Words are powerful, and every word you speak is like a seed planted in the fertile soil of your subconscious mind. These words, once spoken, begin to grow and shape your reality. Whether they are spoken to yourself or others, they carry energy and meaning that can influence your thoughts, actions, and the world around you. Just as a seed grows into a plant, your words can grow into experiences, relationships, and circumstances. This is why it is essential to protect the words you use, as they have the potential to either nurture or harm the life you are creating. Your words are a reflection of your thoughts and beliefs. When you speak, you reveal not only what you think, but also what you believe about yourself and the world. If you constantly speak negatively, you are reinforcing negative beliefs in your subconscious mind, which over time can manifest as negative experiences in your life. On the other hand, when you speak with intention, purpose, and positivity, you plant seeds of possibility, abundance, and growth. Every word you utter is a thought in motion, moving toward manifestation. It is crucial, then, to choose your words carefully and deliberately. The subconscious mind cannot differentiate between positive or negative words, it simply absorbs them. Therefore, when you speak negatively about yourself or others, the subconscious mind takes these words as truth and begins to align your reality with them. For example, if you constantly say, "I am not good enough," or "I will never succeed," these words begin to sink into your subconscious and reinforce feelings of inadequacy or failure. These thoughts then shape your actions, making it harder to take the steps necessary to achieve success or build confidence. In essence, your words are commanding the subconscious to create a reality that matches your beliefs. When you speak affirmations of strength, worthiness, and success, your subconscious mind starts to shift its focus. Words like "I am capable," "I am deserving of all good things," and "I am constantly growing and evolving" plant seeds of empowerment. These affirmations can transform your mindset, leading to actions that are in alignment with the belief that you are capable of achieving your goals. The more consistently you use these words, the more they become a part of your identity and your reality. It is important to remember that words are not only about what you say to yourself, but also how you communicate with others. The language you use when speaking to others has just as much power. If you constantly speak with judgment, criticism, or negativity, you not only harm your relationships, but also reinforce a belief in scarcity, division, or limitation. However, when you choose words that are uplifting, kind, and empowering, you foster positive connections and open doors to growth, cooperation, and opportunity. Protecting your words means being mindful of how you speak, both to yourself and to others. It involves taking responsibility for the language you use and ensuring that it reflects the life you want to create. In a world where negativity can easily take hold, it is crucial to be vigilant in choosing words that align with your highest desires. This requires conscious awareness of what you say and a commitment to speaking with purpose and intention. One of the most effective ways to protect your words is by practicing mindfulness. Before you speak, pause and reflect on the impact your words may have. Are they empowering? Are they in alignment with the vision you have for your life? If not, choose different words. By becoming more conscious of your language, you can prevent harmful seeds from being planted in your subconscious and redirect your energy toward the creation of the life you desire. Another powerful way to protect your words is through the practice of gratitude. When you speak from a place of gratitude, you create a positive atmosphere around you. Gratitude shifts your focus from lack to abundance, and the words that flow from a heart of gratitude are uplifting and expansive. You are not only planting seeds of positivity for yourself, but also for those around you, creating a ripple effect of good energy and possibility. Words also have the power to create and strengthen your inner beliefs. If you want to change your reality, start by changing the language you use. Speak to yourself with love, respect, and compassion. Affirm your worth and your potential. By protecting your words, you are protecting the very foundation upon which your reality is built. In the same way that a gardener tends to their plants by carefully nurturing them and keeping them free from weeds, you must tend to the words you speak, ensuring they are aligned with your highest aspirations. Remember, every word you speak is a seed that will grow and take root in your life. So choose your words wisely, for they are the building blocks of the life you are creating. Silence holds a profound power that most people overlook. In a world that is constantly buzzing with noise, distractions, and the pressure to speak, silence can seem uncomfortable or even unnatural. Yet within this silence lies the gateway to true power over your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions. It is in moments of quiet reflection that you can access the deepest wisdom within you, connect with your true self, and align with the higher forces at work in the universe. Embracing silence is not about avoiding communication or retreating from the world. It is about recognizing the power that resides in stillness and learning to use it to create the life you desire. When you choose silence, you give yourself the space to listen to your inner voice, to your intuition, and to the subtle messages of the universe. In the silence, the noise of the external world fades away, allowing you to tune into the deeper currents of your being. You can hear the whispers of your intuition, guiding you in the right direction, helping you make decisions that align with your highest good. The more you cultivate silence in your life, the clearer these messages become, and the more powerful your decisions and actions will be. Silence also allows you to step away from the constant need for validation or approval from others. In a society where external opinions often shape our sense of self-worth, silence is a reminder that your power comes from within. When you stop speaking for the sake of being heard or seeking approval, you reclaim your authority and self-confidence. You no longer need to seek validation outside of yourself, because you understand that true power is rooted in your own sense of inner knowing. This self-assurance allows you to move through life with clarity and purpose, unaffected by the distractions or judgments of others. Another aspect of silence is its ability to calm the mind. The mind, when left unchecked, can become a whirlwind of thoughts, worries, and fears. These mental distractions can cloud your judgment, limit your potential, and create unnecessary stress. But in silence, the mind can quiet itself, creating a space of peace and clarity. When you are able to sit in silence, you create an environment in which your thoughts can settle, allowing you to access the wisdom that resides beyond the surface level of your consciousness. In this space of stillness, you can make decisions with a sense of calm, clarity, and confidence. The power of silence extends beyond the mental and emotional realms. It also has the ability to influence the physical world around you. When you speak with intention and choose your words carefully, they carry a force that ripples through your reality. But when you embrace silence, you allow the energy of the universe to align with your desires without interference. Silence does not mean passivity, it is a powerful form of receptivity. In silence, you are allowing space for your manifestations to come into being, trusting that the universe is already working on your behalf. This trust in the process gives you the ability to let go of control and surrender to the flow of life, knowing that everything you need will come to you in perfect timing. Furthermore, silence allows you to cultivate deep inner peace. In the quiet moments, you can release the tension of the day, let go of past hurts, and free yourself from the anxieties of the future. By sitting in silence, you create a sanctuary for your soul, a space where you can reconnect with your inner sense of peace and calm. This peace becomes your foundation, and no matter what external circumstances arise, you remain centered and grounded. From this place of peace, you can take inspired action and navigate the challenges of life with grace and resilience. Silence is also an invitation to connect with something greater than yourself. In stillness, you can tap into the infinite wisdom of the universe, allowing you to see the bigger picture and gain perspective on your life. It is in these quiet moments that you realize you are not separate from the world around you. You are connected to it in a profound way. By aligning with this universal energy, you open yourself to new possibilities and experiences that you may not have seen before. Silence then becomes a bridge to higher consciousness, offering a direct connection to the divine and the forces that guide your journey. True power is not about force or aggression, it is about stillness, presence, and alignment. When you embrace silence, you stop trying to control every situation, and instead, you trust in the power of the universe and your ability to navigate life with wisdom and grace. Silence is the gateway to true power, because it is in these moments of quiet that you reconnect with your inner strength, tap into the wisdom of the universe, and align with your highest purpose. By embracing silence, you invite peace, clarity, and empowerment into your life, and you unlock the infinite potential that resides within you. In conclusion, silence is not merely the absence of sound, but a powerful tool that can unlock your true potential. By embracing silence, you create space for inner wisdom, clarity, and peace. It is through moments of stillness that you reconnect with your deeper self, gain the confidence to trust your intuition, and align with the flow of the universe. Silence empowers you to step away from external validation and mental clutter, allowing you to live with purpose, power, and authenticity. Remember, the quiet moments in your life are not moments of weakness, but opportunities for growth and transformation. Thank you for taking the time to reflect on the power of silence and how it can shape your life. May you continue to find peace in stillness and harness the transformative power it offers.